Glyn, we're here at the lovely Risk Exchange.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day for internal audit, right?
Always.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You lead the internal audit group at Performance Food Group.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear what you're hearing from your audit committee. What types of questions are they asking? Is that changing? What's on their minds?
Yeah, I mean, our audit committee, there are a group of questions that they tend always to ask. Are you appropriately staffed? Yeah. Right? How's your relationship with management? All of those kinds of questions are always there. They continue to ask those. The other questions that are asked, though, are more topical. And so, of course, recently, digging into AI, they want to understand what we're doing from an audit perspective to leverage AI in our own group. But beyond that, how are we thinking of it in terms of governance and the rest of the organization? So a lot of discussion around AI recently after the Mythos occurrence.
Yes.
That was another example of question. How does that shift the risk landscape for the organization, particularly as it relates to cybersecurity? So the audit committee tends to focus on those kind of emerging topical areas and risks in the organization and ask me from an audit perspective, how do I think about it through an audit lens?
But also making sure that you're resourced appropriately to cover
100%.
all risks.
That's right.
So that makes a lot of sense.
There are those staple questions that they continue to ask, and which I appreciate because it gives me an opportunity if ever there is something that I feel like I need from a resource perspective, I could certainly bring
They're
it up.
always in
They give me that platform.
Perfect.
That's right.
Well, I'd love to hear too, innovation, and you mentioned use of AI.
Yeah.
How do you think about that in your function? How do you really drive innovation into what you do in internal audit?
Yeah. And I've heard this said here at the conference a few times, but I completely agree with the fact that, the team is only going to be responsive to those things if they see me trying to do it. So really to really try to drive innovation, I try to talk about it a lot and then try to do it. And that doesn't mean that every time I talk about it, it's bringing to them, hey, look, here's a great agent that I wrote and this is what it does. But it's also just, for example, we had a meeting a couple of months ago and I just asked everybody to talk about one personal use that you have found with
fun.
AI.
Yeah.
What have you done in your life because what I found that the way that I learned what good business applications would be is through what personal applications could be. So if I could see, hey, it organized data this way and it created a tool and an instrument for me to be able to query this in my personal life. Well, how can that apply that to business, right? So just having them start the dialogue and talking about what they've done, and then just kind of out loud thinking through, well, what if we thought about reports this way, right? Is that a possibility? Do we really even need to do work papers the way that we always traditionally have? Is there another way, right? Just kind of pressing the boundaries of what you can imagine with AI and innovation, and then allowing them to fail. I think that's another big one it's been said a couple times here, but if they're not trying to develop agents or leverage AI and failing at that, they're not doing enough.
They're not doing enough.
Yeah. So really just trying to drive them that it's okay to fail. It's not okay just to sit back and not do anything with it because it's coming, right? And so we want you to learn how to leverage it in what you do and make us more efficient and effective.
Yeah, I think a great tool, carrying that over from their personal life to their professional life and really focusing on that curiosity and building enthusiasm and excitement, but also taking the fear out of it too at the
100%.
same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Glyn, for sharing your insights.
Absolutely. Enjoyed it.